My boyfriend and my younger sister hit it off, but not in the way you'd expect. They then gaslit me into believing nothing was going on. So on my own wedding day, I exposed everything and ruined their lives, but in my own way. I am still digesting my boyfriend Ryan and my younger sister's little situation that destroyed my 5-year relationship. And yeah, you can probably guess what I'm about to say, or at least you think you can. But the truth is much darker than you can imagine. A couple months back, I started noticing some weird vibes between Ryan and Liv. She'd been engaged to her fiancé Daniel for about a year, with their wedding coming up fast. Liv had always dreamed of a fairy tale wedding, and Daniel, who comes from a well-off family, was happy to make her dreams come true. And that's why I was so quick to gaslight myself. Because just like any life-changing secret that comes to light, the clues started with little things big enough to make your stomach knot up, the kind of subtle interactions that make you doubt yourself because they're so easily dismissed individually, but together form a pattern. Liv would practically howl at Ryan's mediocre jokes, saying stuff like, "OMG, you're hilarious," when nobody else was even chuckling. She'd throw her head back, touch her throat, and look at him with sparkling eyes I'd never seen her direct at Daniel. She'd constantly find reasons to brush against him or touch his shoulder during conversations. Nothing overtly inappropriate. A hand lingering on his forearm, fingers grazing his back when moving past him in the kitchen, standing just a little too close during family photos. I'd catch her staring at him when she thought nobody was looking, but I was looking. The way her eyes would follow him across the room, how she'd adjust her posture whenever he walked in. One time, I watched her reapply her lipstick right before he arrived at our parents' house for Sunday dinner. She never did that for Daniel. After a family dinner where Liv was being particularly flirty, I brought it up with Ryan during our drive home. "Did you notice how Liv was acting tonight?" I asked, trying to sound casual. Ryan glanced over at me, then back at the road. He looked genuinely confused. "What do you mean?" I explained everything. The excessive laughing, unnecessary touching, and those lingering looks. But when he denied knowing anything, I pushed a little harder. "Remember when you told that story about your coworker's failed presentation? Nobody thought it was that funny, but Liv was practically falling out of her chair laughing. Didn't you notice?" He just shrugged it off. "Do you hear how you sound right now? It's obvious you're not thinking straight." When he put it that way, I felt ridiculous. Maybe I was just being insecure? "You're right," I conceded. "I'm being silly." Ryan reached over and squeezed my hand. "Trust me, there's nothing going on. She's just being Liv." Despite his reassurance, something felt off. Over the next few weeks, I watched them like a hawk. Liv always managed to sit next to Ryan at gatherings, finding little excuses to pull him into private conversations. She'd constantly asked for his help with wedding stuff, even when I was right there offering assistance. "I can help you with that," I'd say, and she'd wave me off with a dismissive, "Oh, I need someone with stronger arms." Things came to a head during my parents' backyard cookout 3 weeks before the wedding. I stepped inside to use the bathroom, and when I returned, I spotted Ryan and Liv in a corner of the yard by the old maple tree, standing way too close. She was giggling at something he said, one hand resting on his chest, and they immediately jumped apart when they saw me approaching. "What are you two talking about?" I asked, forcing a smile. Liv flicked her hair back, not quite meeting my eyes. "Oh, just boring wedding stuff. DJ recommendations." "Right," Ryan added quickly. "My buddy from college does some DJ work." I was telling Liv about him. I looked between them, noting Liv's overly casual stance and Ryan's slightly rumpled shirt. "Why didn't you mention that to me?" I could have told her. Ryan shrugged. "Just came up in conversation." That night after we got home, I confronted Ryan more directly. "What was really going on with you and Liv today?" I asked, sitting on the edge of our bed. Ryan paused in the middle of changing his shirt. "What? Nothing. I told you we were just talking about music for the wedding reception, and that required standing 3 inches apart." He pulled his t-shirt on with more force than necessary. "We weren't standing that close." "Yes, you were. I saw you. And you jumped away from each other the second you noticed me. Because you were stomping over with this look on your face." His voice rose slightly, like you were about to accuse us of something. "Well, what am I supposed to think?" I stood up, hands clenched at my sides. "She's been all over you for weeks and you don't seem to mind one bit." When I asked why they needed to stand so close, he got defensive and said I was seeing problems that didn't exist. He insisted he was just being nice to my sister and didn't know how to set boundaries without making things awkward. "What am I supposed to do?" he demanded. "Push her away when she talks to me? Tell her to stop laughing at my jokes? How would that look to your family?" Our argument went around in circles for nearly an hour. He accused me of being paranoid and